Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing this today? Hope everybody had a blessed weekend. I want to talk about. I actually was supposed to do this video a couple of days ago because our as Jehovah's Witnesses we have a memorial. This is what I want to talk about. We have a memorial for Jesus Christ, and that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the memorial. But I was actually supposed to do this video a couple of days ago. I wanted to actually do it before the memorial, but I got lazy and didn't get around to it, so now I'm doing it today. I wanted to explain to you guys the importance of the memorial, the importance of celebrating Jesus, the memorial of Jesus Christ, and to celebrate. The world has it backwards. Um, the world celebrates, they put a lot of emphasis on the resurrection. And of course, Easter, we don't celebrate Easter because Easter is pagan. And Easter has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It's pagan. And it has nothing to do with Jesus Christ. So we definitely don't celebrate that. It's pagan. I don't know. No Christians should be celebrating Easter. But, you guys don't believe me, you can do the research. But Easter has absolutely nothing to do with Jesus Christ. It's a pagan, man-made holiday. But I noticed that people are calling this Resurrection Sunday. They're calling it Resurrection Sunday, and they're putting more emphasis on Jesus' resurrection. But nowhere in the Bible does it tell us to celebrate his resurrection. His resurrection. Um, then after they crucified Jesus and they put him in the memorial tomb, Mary Magdalene and Peter went to check on him, and he was gone. And he had descended on to heaven to be with his father, reign beside his father, Jehovah God. That's all the resurrection means. But he had to die first before he got a resurrection. So as Jehovah's Witnesses, we acknowledge, we have a celebration every year. It's called the Annual Memorial for Jesus Christ. We had it yesterday, March the 31st. I was supposed to do this video a couple of days ago before the memorial. Um, I'm so sorry about that. But our memorial was March the 31st, yesterday. Um, and I'm going to explain to you the importance of the memorial and the reason why. There's a scriptural reason why we celebrate the memorial, we acknowledge the memorial. Um, and I'm going to read those scriptures to you right now. I want to share with you, if you bear with me, it's in Luke 22. I'm going to read Luke 22, verses 15 through 20. And here it reads, "And he said to them, I have greatly desired to eat this Passover with you before I suffer. For I tell you, I will not eat it again until it's fulfilled in the kingdom of God." And accepting a cup, he gave thanks and said, "Take this and pass it from one to the other among yourselves. For I tell you, from now on, I will not drink again from the product of the vine until the kingdom of God comes." Also, he took a loaf, gave thanks, broke it, and gave it to them, saying, "This means my body, which is to be given in your behalf. Keep doing this in remembrance of me." Also, he did the same with the cup after they had the evening meal, saying, "This cup means the new covenant by virtue of my blood, which is to be poured out in your behalf." And so basically what Jesus is saying here, he's saying, um, he took the wine, the cup which had wine in it, and he said, "This represents my blood." He took the bread and he said that this represents my body. And he said, do this in remembrance of me. Keep doing this in remembrance of me. Verse 19, he's saying, keep doing this in remembrance of me. So this is why us Jehovah's Witnesses, we celebrate the memorial. We acknowledge the memorial because Jesus commanded, Jesus told his disciples, he told us to do this in remembrance of him. And it's based on, our memorial is based on Nisan 14, the Hebrew calendar, and that's what we go by. And sometimes it falls in March and sometimes it falls in April. This year it fell on March 31st, depending on what days it falls on. And it's going according to the Hebrew calendar. And this is what, as Jehovah's Witnesses, this is what we do. Because Jesus' death is so important. I just wanted to emphasize the importance of Jesus Christ dying for us. Jehovah God, it said Jehovah God gave his only begotten Son so we can have everlasting life. So we can have everlasting life. If it wouldn't, Adam and Eve, it goes back to Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, I'm trying to make a long story short. Jehovah God told Adam and Eve not to eat of the fruit of the tree, of the forbidden fruit of the tree, of that one tree in the Garden of Eden. And Eve let Satan deceive her into eating the fruit. Then she talked Adam into eating the fruit. And after that, it cursed them. Jehovah God cursed them, and he said, your descendants following you will be cursed. And he created Adam and Eve to live forever. He didn't create Adam and Eve to get old and get sick and die. But because they were disobedient and they ate of the fruit of the tree, then they were cursed. Jehovah God cursed them after that. And he said that your descendants following you will be cursed. We are the descendants of Adam and Eve. So Adam and Eve eventually grew old and they got sick and they died. But before they did that, he gave them the opportunity to populate the earth. We're the descendants of Adam and Eve. So now we haven't inherited that curse from Adam and Eve. We get sick, we get old, and we die. And we wasn't created to die. Death is unnatural. Even with somebody that's very old, it's unnatural because we wasn't created to die. We wasn't created to get old and get sick. All the sicknesses out here like cancer, diabetes, all this stuff like that. All this now they got a strain of flu going around that's taking little kids out. All these sicknesses and stuff, heart diseases and all these sicknesses that's killing people and taking people's lives. Well, Jehovah God did not create us to get sick and die. He didn't create that. We was not supposed to be going through all this. We're not supposed to be imperfect. We're not supposed to be messed up. But because Adam and Eve were disobedient, it cursed us. They cursed them, and he said we're gonna curse your descendants. We're the descendants of Adam and Eve. Jehovah God, being the just God that he is a just God, and him being the just God he knows that Adam and Eve brought that on us, and it's not our fault that we inherited imperfection from them. And he understands that and he realized that. So he gave us, and he wanted to give us an opportunity to buy back our life. The life that we lost, meaning, our spiritual life. He wanted to give us the opportunity to buy it back. And that the only way that he could do that was through his son, Jesus Christ. And through his son, Jesus Christ, dying for us, suffering for us, it gave us the opportunity to buy back. Now we have the opportunity to gain everlasting life because Jehovah God sacrificed his only son. And this is the reason why, and this is the importance of celebrating, acknowledging Jesus Christ's memorial, acknowledging his death, because if he hadn't have died, we would not have a chance to gain everlasting life. See, now we have the opportunity to live forever, like we were originally supposed to in the first place. And Jesus, when Jehovah God sacrificed his only son, that was a loving provision that he gave us. Just to think of the pain it must have caused Jehovah to see his son Jesus suffer like that on the torture stake. Just to see his son suffer like that. And this is the reason why we acknowledge the memorial, because out of love and loving appreciation for the sacrifice Jehovah God made, that he gave his only son so that we would be saved, that we would have the opportunity to live forever. And the world is focusing on his birth when they celebrate Christmas, and then they focus on the resurrection, which only means that after they killed him, they put him in a tomb, and he descended. Jehovah God took him and resurrected him, and he descended on to reign as king beside his Father in heaven. That's the only thing that the resurrection means. But his death he had to die first before he got a resurrection. And his death is very, very, very important. And it's almost like the world is ignoring it. The world is getting around it when they celebrate the resurrection. But if it had to been for Jesus dying, we wouldn't have the chance to have everlasting life. So that is the reason why Jehovah's Witnesses, and we base it on those scriptures. He said, do this in remembrance of me. So we do that in remembrance of Jesus Christ. Jehovah God gave his only son. He sacrificed his only son. He didn't have to do that. In John 3:16 it says, "For God so loved the world so much that he gave his only begotten son, so that everyone exercising faith in him might not be destroyed, but have everlasting life." And verse 17 says, "For God did not send his son into the world for him to judge the world, but for the world to be saved through him. Whoever exercises faith in him will not be judged, but whoever does not exercise faith has been judged already, because he has not exercised faith in the name of the only begotten Son of God." And this is the reason why we acknowledge, we have the memorial service, and we acknowledge that Jehovah God sacrificed his only son. He loved us that much. He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it, but he did it. He could have said that, "I'm sorry about their luck, but I'm not sacrificing my son." But he did it. Him being the just God that he is, he did it. But the world celebrates the birth, which, yes, Jesus Christ's birth is important, but he wasn't born on December 25th. Nowhere in the Bible does it state that he was born December 25th. And the Bible doesn't tell us to celebrate Christmas. But then they celebrate the resurrection. And the Bible doesn't tell us to celebrate the resurrection, but where is the celebration of his death? He sacrificed his only son. And the world just gets around it. Jehovah's Witnesses, as far as I know, is the only religion that truly acknowledges and respects the fact that Jesus gave his life. Jehovah God gave his only son so we can have a chance to live, so we can have a chance at everlasting life. So this is the reason why every year Nice and 14, we celebrate the memorial service and 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 the importance of it. And those are the scriptures that we base it on. I will put those scriptures in the description box. Um, I just want to let you guys know that that's what we do, and that's the importance of it. Like and share my video. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. This is Sweet Jim.